Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the stock market update video. And today we'll be looking at support and resistance levels and potentially where going to be key resistance for the overall market, QQQ, S&P 500, as well as we'll be looking at the 7 mega cap tech stocks, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta. And we'll be checking to see what's the most likely scenario where price will be heading into later next week. And today it's Friday was a really low volume day, so not much going on. But on Thursday, it actually rejected from this 393 resistance that we drew together on Monday. And currently, the question is this going to be the temporary top for QQQ, which QQQ, NASDAQ leads the S&P 500 most of the time. So that's why we focus so much on QQQ overall, because if QQQ pulls back, it's going to be dragging down the S&P 500. And let's take a look at the hourly charts. So on Thursday, we spiked up in the morning and give it all back pretty much. You can see this candle right there. And we're just chopping range, tightening up pretty much. So once this tightening range breaks, whichever way this breaks, we'll know exactly which volumes will come in. So what we want to see is not what we see at Friday, where there's barely any volume going on. For bears, you need bear volume to bring things down. For bulls, when there's low volume, it's easy to grind things up. That's just how overall stock market works. And we could look at the hourly, see if we have an hourly downtrend. And we do, because this is initial drop. This is the bounce. We're at an hourly double bottom here, but then we broke that today. So I would count that as a small hourly downtrend. We also had an hourly double bottom here as well. You guys know where I always talk about hourly trends. And before it changes, we don't want to be blindly trying to nail the top when we're shorting. And pretty much that is the. But what I want to see is actually confirming in a regular trading hours, where something like this drop, bounce, and then goes lower than a prior low, going to a lower low in a regular trading hour. That'll be more significant to me than as just going lower the next day compared to yesterday's low. But today is pretty much the first day where we went below prior day's low. You can see we have never gone below the prior day's low in this entire move, other than that we did, I think, right here slightly. So that just means that daily consolidation is on its way, meaning we're having another one of these pullbacks where this was a bull flag though, and we'll have to see if this one ends up being another bull flag, because it's pretty much we hold 388 support, which is prior resistance now acting as support. And this might we'll have to see if this tiny range breaks bull, then we might get another bull flag. And currently this will be our benchmark level, where this and this level, today's low, needs to hold. If today's low breaks, we're coming back down to Tuesday's low. Then now, and we break Tuesday's low, that'll be break of the tiny range. Clearly, give me a second. Something like this. So this is this uptrending support. See bounce 3 times here, bounce another time there, 4, 5, another time 6 today. And resistance is not much. Can't really draw this one here, but it's mostly like that. So pretty much we're at the end of the tiny range, but I don't like that resistance line. There's barely any touches. So we'll see on Monday if it bounces from there and see if we're getting any more rejections for more resistance. But the support line is very clear. So we'll see if it breaks out of this tiny range bear. Then we may come back down to test this Tuesday's low. I wouldn't be swinging long here on after 3 weeks up, but there is definitely a lot of day trading opportunities on both long side and the short side. And currently we are a little bit overbought on the daily. We are daily overbought. Slight divergence here. You can see we made a higher high on the price, but the RSI made a lower high, meaning the RSI was lower than this prior high, than this high, while the price made a higher high. So there's slight divergence there. Doesn't mean we're just gonna roll over when there's divergence, but it's giving a little bit of clues. For the more clues that adds up in one area, the more probability of us winning on that trade is. So we'll see if it ends up, shipping on like a bull flag, kind of just chops around and higher. You could just measure it. Bottom of the move. Actually, I wouldn't call this a bull flag because of this candle Tuesday. It actually went a little bit lower, as well as we already retraced more than 38.2% of the move. Yeah, so that's not a bull flag anymore. The idea is there. So you can see pretty much this was acting as resistance. When we broke above it, this back tested it, and this was a bull flag, went higher. So if it's a shallow retracement, the more shallow it is, the better for the bulls. So we'll see if 388 ends up holding, and then we just bounce, and that's a very shallow retracement. So, and that will favor the bulls. But if we start, pulling back a little, starting pulling back more, it's going to give bears now room to work with. When we bounce, it can confirm daily downtrends. So we'll see the size of this retracement before we make more judgments. You can see this retracement was so shallow that bears had zero room to work with. Once we get a little bit of bounce, the bull flag just confirm. Same thing with over here. That's a shallow retracement. This was maybe 10% of the move retraced. This was maybe 15% of the retracement. This now retraced closer to 30-40%. So giving bears a little bit of room now, but if we get another red one candle down here, then we definitely have more room for bears to take some control. We'll see if they can show up or not, but as of now, honestly, not much really for bears to say there is any bears. This could just be a little bit profit taking, and that's it, right? So zero signs of bears at this given moment, and it'll probably going to be that way until they show us something. All right, Sp500, same thing, even stronger than QQQ up here. It's playing a little bit of a catch up because other sectors like financial sector has been just going straight up XLF, so it's helping SPY holding a lot better on this consolidation. So on the hourly charts, look, see if any signs of red flags, and absolutely zero. Hourly uptrend intact. No signs of red flags. Hourly tried to confirm our hourly downtrend. Nope. Double bottom kept on going. Hourly uptrend still intact. So yeah, absolutely zero signs of red flags from bulls as long as the hourly uptrend is still intact and bears aren't going anywhere. Same thing. This drop was big. No hourly trend changed to the downside. Hourly uptrend continue. So as long as SPY in an hourly uptrend, I wouldn't just be blindly shorting and just keep it simple. Hourly trend confirmed right there, and we're still in an hourly uptrend. Doesn't mean we confirm an hourly downtrend, the whole thing is just gonna roll over. It just means that bears have finally proven a little bit of something to us that we haven't seen since the bounce, right? Then we can start to be a little bit more cautious to the downside, and we can start looking for setups, short setups to the downside. But as of now, there's no points in looking at the short side, and just keep things simple. As long as the hourly uptrend is intact, we have never lost it so far. And let's look at Nvidia, see if we get any more clues. So the QQQ weakness was pretty much just Nvidia having two small red dates, and while SPY XLF is going to keep on going higher, so as long as there's market rotations and between sectors, there's not a lot of fears. So what we want to see from bears is every single major sector, for example, XLV, XLF, all going to the low of its day. But if it's like financial sector being green, right, and QQQ is slightly red, there's not going to be period coming into the market or like a big sell-off. So as long as micro mining's kept on rotating, it's favoring the bulls. So let's take a look at Nvidia. Slow day today, but still closed the low of its day. So not much going on other than we did confirm hourly downtrend as well here. Not much follow through. Low volume day. And yeah, so Nvidia is showing slight signs of weakness compared to QQQ itself. You can see as well, no signs of hourly downtrend confirmed from here to here until its earnings reaction. So, and all you had to do was wait for the big enough drop. And on that pivot, you can try to short here. So you're trying to nail the top every time over here, here, right? So this wasn't even a big enough drop. This is not a big enough drop. This is a big enough drop where bears have room to now work with on a bounce where it can set a lower high, a pivot, right? Versus something like this one. Once it bounces, there's not really any much room left for bears to set that lower high to take things lower. So the size of the retracement or the bounce is so important for us to better understand where it's heading. All right, take a look at Tesla. And yeah, so I'm looking at this support for Nvidia. If we come down to 462, this maroon looking line was acting support there. So if we come down to here on Monday, may look for a bounce here. So we'll see about that. And Tesla, let's see. Slightly outperforming. Q today is pretty much just in a tiny range, very clear. Let's see. Resistance. I don't like this pre-market, but support. But you guys get the tightening range idea. We don't want to use these diagonal lines as definite support and resistance, but it's just an overall picture of what the price is doing. Move up, smaller move, gets smaller, smaller, and just tightening up. So once it finishes tightening up, we'll know which way it's going to break after that. Follow through. Want to see volume, bull volume come in if it break, bull break, bear volume come in if it's a bear break. Probably break on before Wednesday. So we're either going to break Monday or Tuesday on this tiny range. You can see on the daily chart, we're just tightening up right here. Huge move up, just smaller and smaller and smaller. We'll see which way breaks very, very soon in probably 2 days. All right. Let's take a look at Apple. Slightly signs of, a little bit signs of slowdown. Same thing with QQQ, rejecting that 393. This is rejecting its 52 high range from here. And daily consolidation is finally on its way, meaning the one candle finally went below the prior candle. You can see, except over here, pretty much from here all the way up to here, it's a straight move up, and not a single candle went below the prior candle. So now it's a daily consolidation on its way. And we'll see if the size of this retracement. Let's measure from the bottom to top. So Apple can pull back all the way to 183 and still be a daily bull flag. Yeah, it's crazy. That's how much room we went up. So we can pull back here, bounces, chop around here, and then next thing you know, we shot back, break above that. That's a confirmed daily bull flag. But the idea of it is that if we retrace within 0.382, it's a bull flag and it's a shallow retracement. First support I'll be looking at is this tail looking line, which is the 12 EMA. So this will catch up probably a little bit more on Monday, and then if we come down, we'll see if it bounces from there. Because you can see very clear, it always acts as resistance when we're below it. When we're above it, every single day it acts as support. So we're well above it. So when the price comes down to it, let's see if it acts as support. It probably will bounce at least once from it, slightly. And then we'll see if they can take it lower or not from there. Amazon rising wedge intact as well. Big picture resistance, big picture support. And back down, retested yesterday. No volume today, so there's no way we would have broken above it today. But just holding that range, so that's a good sign for the bulls. And we're very likely going to test it again on Monday. So see if we can break above that. If we can't, and we're probably going to pull back again and test this teal looking line again. We already bounced off of it twice. We'll see if we bounce off of it again, which is also going to coincide with the 144 support on Monday if it comes up. Yeah. See resistance, 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 resistance 4 times so far. So we'll see if we can get over it. All right, let's look at Google. Let me see. Okay, Google. Pretty much just testing its 52 high. Resistance right there, that cluster. A little bit relatively weaker today for QQQ being down 0.14%, and this is down 1.3%. So yeah, but still very healthy pullback. Let's see. Move up, healthy pullback, move up, healthy pullback, move up, healthy pullback. As long as daily uptrend is intact, no signs of red flags for bulls. And if we pull back a little bit more, let's see if we can hold 135. But Google is definitely a little bit slightly weaker than some of its peers. But no complaints for bulls. We're pretty much at 52 high. And we're still above 12 EMA, so everything looks good. Take a look on the hourly. Yeah, really not much. Just that this morning drop, and that was it. And there's just no more volume at the end of the day, so not much going on here. So we'll get the real price action on Monday. And Microsoft is pretty much the all-star, where it's still at its all-time highs, doing its price discovery until we see hourly uptrend gets negated. And we did have one over here, that news with the CEO and stuff, but that's just news related, so it wasn't not very clear here. As long as we see a clear hourly downtrend, a lower high and a lower low, and Microsoft still just doing its price discovery until it wants to have a resistance at whatever price it wants to have. But as of now, it's still finding its price higher every day. And Meta. $52 high as well, but not all-time highs. We are testing the all-time high structure though. Getting closer. We are not that close. We're still testing this structure here. And pretty much this 343 was the resistance over here. You can see we have rejected from there close to 5 times. And we tested it on Wednesday. And slight rejection, but I wouldn't say a rejection. But until we confirm narrowly downtrend here, I wouldn't call this a rejection. This is just a daily uptrend intact. Pull back, kept on going, pull back. We'll see if there's any sign of weakness yet. This could be the top, but I don't want to be trying to nail that because I could have said the same thing over here. This could have been the top. And big enough drop. Let's see if bears can confirm that hourly downtrend here on Monday. They do. And we may start to see some weakness in the market. As of now, no signs of that yet. So if we see, Meta rolls over a little bit, cover an hourly downtrend here. Google doing the same thing, confirm hourly downtrend here. And Microsoft still too strong for them. Amazon rejects from this resistance, starts to roll over a little bit. Apple signs of weakness, just comes down to the 12 EMA, that would be like a 2% drop. And we probably get one more red candle on QQ at least, right? So we'll see if these guys end up showing some kind of weakness and drag QQ a little bit lower. All right, that's all I got for you guys on stocks, and I will see you guys probably next week. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend. Hopefully you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And if you guys like to support the channel, the Patreon link is below. And if you guys subscribe to Patreon, you can feel free to DM me on Patreon. You can ask me any questions privately. And have a great rest of you guys' weekend.